Hello, guys. Welcome back to literature classes. This is Abhilasha Yadav. Guys, today I am going to discuss a novelist of Victorian era. Who is that one? That is Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy is a novelist and a poet also. He belonged to Victorian era. He belonged to Victorian era. He is called a Victorian realist. He was also called last Victorian because when he was when he was born, that time the age was going to end. So guys, I shall discuss all the things related to Thomas Hardy in this video. So without doing a further delay, let's move right into the topic. Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy was a Victorian poet and a novelist. He was born in 2nd of June 1840 at Stinsford, Dorset, England. That means he belonged to Victorian era and he was born in England. In which place? In Stinsford, Dorset. In Stinsford, Dorset in England. He was influenced by Romanticism and Wordsworth. Wordsworth, who is called a romantic poet, was Wordsworth belonged to Romantic era. Romantic era, Wordsworth wrote so many poems like lyrical ballads. Lyrical ballads, and there are some other poems that he wrote. Okay, Lucy poems he wrote. So by the term romanticism and Wordsworth, he was very much influenced. Who? Thomas Hardy. See the next point related to his biography. His father, Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy's father named was Thomas. Means there are so many writers, authors we can say who are known by his father's name. So here Thomas Hardy is also known as Thomas Hardy's father is also Thomas. Thomas worked as a stonemason. Means Thomas is the father name of Thomas Hardy. Thomas worked as a stonemason and local builder, and his mother Jemima. His mother name was Jemima, who was well read. He got the too much education from his mother. Why? Because she was educated lady. She educated Hardy until he went to his first school, where he was not till until he did not get the education properly well from the schools. His mother educated him. Okay, so Thomas Hardy has gone his first school at Bockhampton, and in which age? When he was 8 years old. Clear? So for several years after that, for several years, Hardy attended Mr. Last's Academy for Young Gentlemen in Dorchester, where he learned Latin. Means Latin language. Where he learned Latin language? In Dorchester. In Dorchester, and for several years he attended Mr. Last's Academy. Whose academy? Mr. Last's Academy. मतलब इन्होंने मिस्टर लास्ट की अकेडमी को भी इन्होंने क्या किया, बहुत सालों तक इन्होंने ज्वाइन किया. ठीक है, और इन्होंने वहीं पे क्या सीखा है? लैटिन सीखा है. ठीक है. Because Hardy's family lacked the means for a university education, his formal education ended at the age of 16. Means he has not got proper education, proper university education, which everyone get, most of the people get. Okay, so when he became apprentice to James Hicks, a local architect. Clear? he trained himself as an architect. He trained himself as an architect in Dorchester. Where? In Dorchester, at the same place before moving to London in 1862. There he enrolled as a student at King's College, London. I mean to say, he trained himself as an architect means he has got the training of architect in Dorchester before moving to London. When he went to London in 1862, he went to London. So before moving to London, he trained himself. He got the training of being an architect. Okay, and after that he enrolled as a student at King's College, London. King's College, where it is situated? It is situated in London. See the next point. He won prizes from the Royal Institute of British Architects and the Architectural Association. He won prizes, मतलब इन्होंने बहुत सारे prizes जीते हैं. किससे? From the Royal Institute of British Architect. From the Royal Institute of British Architect and the Architectural Association. Architectural Association और रॉयल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ब्रिटिश आर्किटेक्ट से इन्होंने क्या किए हैं? प्राइज जीते हैं. सी द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. इन अप्रैल 1862 ही जॉइंड आर्थर ब्लूमफील्ड प्रैक्टिस as assistant architect. Clear? So in 1862, after 2 years, in the same year 1862, he joined Arthur Bloomfield practice as assistant architect. Means he got the training of as assistant architect. So as an architect. So he joined where in which place? In Arthur Bloomfield practice for as an architect, assistant architect. See the next point. In 1870, while on an architectural mission to restore the parish church of St. Juliet in Cornwall, he met and fell in love with Emma Gifford and married in 1874. Meaning is that in 1870, 1870 में, while on an architectural mission, means he got the training of an architect. So after architectural mission to restore the parish church of St. Juliet, ये कहाँ पे गए थे? To restore the parish church of St. Juliet. कहाँ पे? कॉर्नवॉल में. जहाँ पे किससे मिले? एमा जिफोर्ड से. एमा जिफोर्ड. आफ्टर मीटिंग Emma Gifford, he married. In which year? In 1874, he married to that lady, Emma Gifford. In 1912, he fall in love. He fall in love in which place? In the same place where he met to Emma Gifford. Okay. After falling in love, he got married to that lady. See the next point. In 1912, his wife died. His wife died and made town to Cornwall and wrote a poem. Poems 1912 to 13 reflect upon her death. Meaning is that 1912 में इनकी वाइफ की डेथ हो गई. इन्होंने क्या किया? कॉर्नवॉल में इन्होंने एक पोएम लिखा है. Poems 1912 to 13. This is the टाइटल ऑफ द पोएम. रिफ्लेक्ट अपॉन हर डेथ, मतलब उनके डेथ को रिफ्लेक्ट करते हुए इन्होंने क्या किया है? एक पोएम लिखा है 1912 में, व्हेन हिज वाइफ वाज डाइड. In 1914, see the next point, he married with his secretary Florence Emily Dugdale. This is the second marriage of Hardy in 1914. After 2 years, he again married with a lady, Florence Emily Dugdale. Florence Emily Dugdale, who was 14 years junior. जो इनसे 14 years junior थी, उससे इन्होंने 1914 में after 2 years इन्होंने marriage कर ली. In 1910, he had been awarded the Order of Merit and was also nominated as for the Nobel Prize in Literature. Meaning is that Thomas Hardy, guys, Thomas Hardy is known as OM. Somewhere it is written OM, O-M. Meaning is that Order of Merit. he is awarded with a he was awarded as the Order of Merit. In which year? In 1910. The question is, sometimes the question is asked that in which year Thomas Hardy got Order of Merit. So you can easily answer that question, that he got the Order of Merit in 1910 and was also nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature in several times. He would be nominated for the prizes in several times. Clear? See the next point. He became ill. He became ill. In which year he became ill? He became ill with a pleurisy or disease, pleurisy, in December 1927. In which year he became ill? He became ill in 1927. Clear? In 1927 with a disease that is known as pleurisy. Clear? So after being ill, he died. He died at which place? The resting place of Hardy is Maxgate. Maxgate in Dorchester. Dorset, England is the resting place of Thomas Hardy. Clear? Okay. See the next point. Hardy has used a term. Hardy has used, this was the, we can say, a short, very limited point regarding the biography of Thomas Hardy. Now let's move to the things which for which he is known. That is, see the next point. Hardy has used a term known as cliffhanger in his novel A Pair of Blue Eyes. A Pair of Blue Eyes is the term, is a term which he used in which work? In A Pair of Blue Eyes. A Pair of Blue Eyes is a work which is published in 1873. In which year it was published? It was published in 1873. Clear? See the next point. The term cliffhanger. What is the meaning of this term cliffhanger? The term cliffhanger denotes, or we can say it deals with cliffhanger. Cliffhanger This cliffhanger is termed to have originated with the serialized version of the story A Pair of Blue Eyes. Okay, and this was published, this A Pair of Blue Eyes is published in Tinsley magazine. In which magazine? It was published in Tinsley magazine. Clear? This was published in Tinsley magazine, in which the protagonist Henry Knight is left literally hanging off as a cliff. That's why this Hardy has given, from this very incident, Hardy has given the term cliffhanger. Clear? See the next point. So the next point is Far from Madding Crowd. This is the very important work of Thomas Hardy. In this novel, this is the first novel in which he used the rain Wessex. Wessex is the region which he has chosen for all of his novels. Meaning is that the setting of Thomas Hardy's novels is Wessex. Clear? So this Far from the Madding Crowd is the first novel in which he used the rain Wessex. Guys, sometimes the question is asked as which is the first novel in which Hardy has used the rain Wessex. So which is the first novel? Far from the Madding Crowd. Far from the Madding Crowd was published in which era? It was published in 1874. It was published in 1874. Okay, this was successful enough for Hardy to give up architectural work. Meaning is that जो फार फ्रॉम द मेडिंग क्राउड था, ये इनका फर्स्ट नॉवेल था जिसमें इन्होंने वेसेक्स रेन का यूज़ किया है. लेकिन इसकी खास बात क्या थी? द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज़ दैट ही गॉट द सक्सेस फ्रॉम दिस नॉवेल. इन्होंने इस नॉवेल से सक्सेस इतनी पाई कि इन्होंने अपना आर्किटेक्चरल वर्क को गिव अप कर दिया इसी नॉवेल से, इस नॉवेल के बाद से. Clear? See the next point. Hardy wrote his first novel named The Poor Man and the Lady in 1867 but failed to find a publisher. What does it mean? One more thing I want to tell you guys, that Far from the Madding Crowd. Far from the Madding Crowd is a novel which was published in which magazine? Sometimes the question is asked in the paper that in which magazine this novel was published. So it was published in Cornell magazine. In which magazine? It was published in Cornell magazine. Clear? Okay. And there is another important thing is that Far from the Madding Crowd, the title has been taken from which poem? So the title of this novel is taken from Elegy written in a country churchyard. In which from which poem the title is derived? It is derived from Elegy written in a country churchyard. Okay, and this poem was written by whom? It was written by Thomas Gray. Thomas Gray. Okay, so see the next point. Thomas Hardy wrote his first novel named The Poor Man and the Lady. Poor Man and the Lady. This was published in 1867, but it was failed to find a publisher. Means टॉमस हार्डी का पहला नॉवेल था जो कि फिनिश्ड हुआ था 1867 में, बट इसको पब्लिशर नहीं मिला था और ये पब्लिश नहीं हुआ था. देयर वॉज अ पर्सन नोन एज जॉर्ज मेरिडिथ. ओके, जॉर्ज मेरिडिथ डिनाइड टू पब्लिश दिस वर्क. Which work? The Poor Man and the Lady. After this failure, Thomas Hardy was too much disturbed. Thomas Hardy बहुत ज़्यादा disturbed हो गए थे कि अब क्या करना चाहिए. So वो बहुत ज़्यादा mentally disturbed हो गए इस novel की failure के बाद में. Clear? There were two works that were published anonymously. Sometimes, guys, the question is asked as which is the first novel that was published anonymously? So the work which was published anonymously was Desperate Remedies. This was the first novel. Clear? And the second novel which was published anonymously is known as Under the Greenwood Tree. Desperate Remedies was published in 1871. In which year it was published? It was published in 1871. Okay, and this was published on the saying of George Meredith. Who saying? George Meredith. Clear? Okay. This Desperate Remedies was written after the direct influence of Vicky Collins. Who is Vicky Collins? Vicky Collins. Who is that one? Vicky Collins. Vicky Collins was a has written some sensational works. Clear? See the next point. Two on a Tower. Two on a Tower, another very important novel of Thomas Hardy, was published in 1882, is a romance story set in the world of astronomy. Okay, एस्ट्रोनॉमी के वर्ल्ड में सेट हुआ है. कौन सा नॉवल? टॉमस हार्डी का टू ऑन अ टावर. और पब्लिश्ड कब हुआ? 1882 में, जो कि क्या है? एक रोमांस स्टोरी है. क्या है? रोमांस स्टोरी. सी द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. Okay, so these were some important points about which I want to talk to you. After that, there are some major works that is very important to know. So the first one is Desperate Remedies. As I told you earlier that Desperate Remedies was published in 1871 and it was written on the sayings of George Meredith, and it was directly influenced by Willie Vicky Collins. Clear? The next work, which is Under the Greenwood Tree, this was published in 1872. 1872. Clear? See the next point. The next one is the very important work, A Pair of Blue Eyes. It was published in 1873. This was published in which magazine? Tinsley magazine. Clear? Far from the Madding Crowd. Far from the Madding Crowd, one of the very important novel of Thomas Hardy, published in 1874. Far from the Madding Crowd. Far from the Madding Crowd का टाइटल कहाँ से लिया गया है? टॉमस ग्रे के एलिजी रिटन इन अ कंट्री चर्चयार्ड से. क्लियर? कहाँ से लिया गया है? टॉमस ग्रे के एलिजी रिटन इन अ कंट्री चर्चयार्ड, विच वॉज पब्लिश्ड इन 1751. क्लियर? ओके, सी द नेक्स्ट one, The Return of the Native. The Return of the Native was published in 1878. Okay, Return of the Native. Okay, so who is the protagonist of this novel, Return of the Native? Mayor Hansford, known as Michael Hansford. Okay, sometimes the question is asked that who is the protagonist, or they will give some 4 examples that who is the first one, who is the protagonist of this novel. So you can easily answer that Michael Hansford is the protagonist of this novel. Next one is Trumpet Major. In this Return of the the Return of the Native, Eustacia Y. Eustacia Y was the protagonist of this novel, not Michael Hansford. Okay, Trumpet Major. Then another novel was published in 1880. That was Trumpet Major. Next is A Laudician, which was published in 1881. Then Two on a Tower, which was published in 1882. 1882. Two on a Tower is a romance story and it was set in world of astronomy. Okay, next is The Mayor of Casterbridge. The Mayor of Casterbridge was published in 1886, and The Mayor of Casterbridge. The protagonist of this novel is Michael Hansford. The story of, mainly it was set according to the feminist point of view. Meaning is that it is started from the selling of a wife by a husband in a public place. Okay, so it is a very interesting story. If you want to read, please read it. I will I would recommend you, because this is a very fine, romantic, and also a feminist, written according to the feminist point of view. The next is The Woodlanders. The Woodlanders was published in 1887. Then Tess of the D'Urberville. Tess of the D'Urberville, which was published in 1891. The subtitle of this very novel is, बताइए क्या हो सकता है इस novel का subtitle? The subtitle of the novel is A Pure Woman. A Pure Woman Faithfully Presented. Faithfully presented. Okay, so the subtitle meaning is that the full title of this work is Tess of the D'Urberville, A Pure Woman Faithfully Presented. Clear? Okay, the next novel of Hardy is The Well Beloved. Well Beloved was published in 1892. Again, what is the subtitle of this work? A Sketch of the Temperament. A Sketch of the Temperament. Okay. It was published in 1892. Next is Jude the Obscure. Jude the Obscure was published in 1895. Okay, this was the last novel of Thomas Hardy. Okay, there is another work, Under the Greenwood Tree. Under the Greenwood Tree. क्या है इसका subtitle? Under the Greenwood Tree का subtitle है A Rural Painting of the Dutch School. ओके, अ रूरल पेंटिंग ऑफ द डच स्कूल. ये किसका टाइटल है? ये टाइटल है अंडर द ग्रीनवुड ट्री का. ओके, इन द नॉवल लॉडिशियन देर इज अ डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ अ थिंग दैट इज फेक्ड टेलीग्राम एंड फेक्ड फोटोग्राफ. जो नॉवल है अ लॉडिशियन, इसमें किसका डिस्क्रिप्शन है? इसमें फेक टेलीग्राम और फेक्ड फोटोग्राफ का डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया गया है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज द लास्ट पब्लिश्ड वर्क. Which was the last published work of Thomas Hardy? This is the question to you guys. Please let me know the answer of this question through your comments. The next and the last point of this video is the Dynasts. The Dynasts is the epic drama. It was written by Hardy as an epic drama of the war with Napoleon, and it was written in 3 parts. The Dynast was the epic drama written by Hardy. It was related to the war with the Napoleon. Okay, and this was written in 3 parts. So guys, these are all very important point related to Thomas Hardy I have discussed. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any queries or any doubts in your mind, please let me know through your comments. I shall reply all your comments. That's it for today. I'll meet you very soon with the next video. Till then, keep reading and have fun with literature. Thank you.